trying to take it all in, that he had no fear of leaving fingerprints. There was nothing in the room that invited human touch. And, of course, he was wearing gloves. Mary Ann Nichols followed her typical schedule, arriving home a few minutes after 6. Jack heard the garage door opener grind into action and was in the closet off the kitchen before the overhead door had completed its opening process. A moment later he heard the muffled sound of a car door open and slam shut, and then the sound of the heavy overhead garage door as it reversed its course and started to close. She came into the kitchen, this Mary Ann Nichols, weighed down with a paper sack of groceries, a clear plastic bag of dry cleaning, and a large bumpy purse bulging at its seams. She was plump like her purse, with brown frazzled hair that went in several directions simultaneously. She had a look of being persistently stressed, as if she were constantly out of sorts regardless of the time or situation. She'd look crabby even if she weren't at the end of her day, and loaded down with stuff, he concluded, as he peered at her through a gap between the door and the door jamb. The groceries found a home on the one chicken-free spot on the kitchen counter, while the purse was tossed haphazardly on the floor near the door to the garage. It would probably remain there, untouched, until she picked it up on her way to work the next day. Except, of course, Mary Ann wouldn't be going to work the next day. The dry cleaning, Jack realized, was problematic. The small crack of light that came through the barely opened closet door gave him a dim view of the contents of his confined hiding space. There were coats hung on hangers and what appeared to be a few kitchen towels and linens on the shelf above his head. Although he didn't have enough light to prove it, he was willing to bet that he'd find a few more chickens embroidered on those linens. After taking in his environment, Jack felt reasonably certain that she wouldn't try to put the dry cleaning in this closet. Odds were that she had picked up some freshly cleaned business attire on the way home, and that she would be taking those items to their proper hanging place in the bedroom. And he was right. She disappeared out of sight, taking the dry cleaning with her, heading in the direction of the bedroom. The room grew quiet. His heart began to beat noticeably faster. She was home. He was ready. Now it was just a matter of picking the right moment. This jostled his memory, and he remembered a joke from late-night TV. Was it Kimmel? Seth Meyers? No. It felt like Johnny Carson, remembered from one of the old best-of VHS tape collections his mother treasured so dearly. Carson's stuff was always memorable, and his delivery better than anyone else before or since. Anything is legal between two consenting adults, the joke went, but not necessarily between one consenting adult and one very surprised adult. Carson would have clucked his tongue at the end of the joke and shook his head, playing the laugh and drawing it out like the pro he was. A few moments later she came back into the kitchen and began to unpack the groceries. Jack could see glimpses of her, just flashes, as he peered through the small crack between the door and the doorframe. But he remembered what she looked like, small and round, dark hair, fair, almost pale skin, big eyes. He wondered why she was living alone, by choice or circumstance. Was she between relationships or recovering from something, or just one of those lonely people who never quite find a way to make it work? Now was not the time to puzzle that out, of course. Not just now. He was about to step out of the closet, ready to both start and finish the job, when the phone rang, changing the course of Mary Ann Nichols' life, if only for a few scant moments. Hello? Oh, hi, Mom. No, I just got home. She cradled the cordless phone with her shoulder while she continued to unpack the groceries, setting some items aside, a pound of ground turkey, a can of stewed tomatoes, some tomato paste, a box of organic brown rice pasta, and putting other items up on the cupboard shelves. Later in the week is good. Sunday, maybe. Okay, Sunday, definitely. We'll drive down, make a day of it. She stopped her work and listened intently for a moment. No, Saturday's no good. It's just not, that's all. Mary Ann Nichols stopped unpacking the groceries, her voice becoming higher, a bit more shrill, as she focused entirely on the phone conversation. Well, I'm sure Gordon would be thrilled to drop everything and take you on Saturday. Why don't you ask him? I'm just saying Sunday works better for me. No, it's not all about me, Mother. You asked when it would be convenient, and I said Sunday, that's all.